What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Mr. Random, and the weather here is absolutely horrible. I was gonna do a Panther talk episode in the outside. It had to be on the outside for today's video because I want to do a hands-on demonstration of what it's like to actually drive and live with a tuned transmission. It's truly the embodiment of a love-hate relationship. Hold on, I think the car will look a lot better if I turn on the fog lights. Oh, cool, because only one of them works. Yay. All right, so okay, I'm gonna have to fix that some other time. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the basics, and that is, what the hell, I'm sorry, I'm in a church, what the heck is a transmission shift tune, and how is it different, and is it better than a JMod? Now, to oversimplify what generally is a complicated and delicate mod, a transmission shift tune is literally just that. It's a tune that changes certain aspects of gear changes like shift timing, shift points, final drive, etc. Essentially, it increases low-end torque and like ridiculously like God modes throttle response. The best way to describe a transmission shift tune is like plugging in a Game Shark for all you 30-year-olds and over. It's like plugging in a Game Shark into your gaming console and just unlocking the true potential, the hidden potential that's been locked away in this car right here, at the expense of some pretty bad fuel economy and some clunkiness. I'll touch base on both of those things in just a second. Hands down, stock for stock, pound for pound, a tranny tuned, yes, I'm going to coin that word now, it is officially a thing now, a tranny tuned Crown Vic, pound for pound, is daggone faster and better than a stock Crown Victoria. That's not even up for debate. That there's a period at the end of that sentence. Stock for stock, transmission tuned Crown Vic, side by side next to a regular P71, not even close. Tranny tuned Vic for the win. Now, given all the advantages of having a tuned transmission, it's still, I want to make this clear, it's still not better than a JMod. However, getting a JMod is typically more expensive than getting your transmission tuned because a JMod requires actual, like it's actually a physical modification to your actual transmission, which actually involves taking a part of your transmission apart for it to be modified. So what exactly is it like to live with a shift tuned transmission? Damn, I have this camera way up close to my face. Like I said earlier in the video, guys, it's a love-hate relationship. Let's start with the first thing, fuel economy. Your fuel economy, believe it or not, these Crown Victorias, especially the P71s, they're geared to shift earlier on. They're geared to keep the RPM range low so that they can save a lot of fuel, and they fill up with 87 octane. This one has been tuned to fill up with 93 octane. That's going to be on my other video where I cover what it's like to live with the infamous Marty tune. But like I said, that's for another video. Fuel economy completely gone out the door. You see, what's going to happen is your shift points are now way higher, which is it's great for highway merging or embarrassing those V6 Mustang owners at red lights. However, if you're doing a lot of city driving from red light to red light or a congested highway, that's when the chinks in the armor slowly start to show. You see, what will happen is you'll be like slowly creeping up in traffic. Then as you come to a stop, your transmission does this huge clunk. It literally shakes the whole car. I can't imagine that'll be good for your torque converter, especially if you live in a big city where there's a lot of traffic and congestion. A lot of people usually recommend getting an upgraded torque converter, but if you have a stock one and you're doing a lot of city driving, having a tuned transmission, it's probably not going to be good for your torque converter, and it probably won't last more than maybe 1 or 2 years. And like I said earlier, the tranny tune is no substitute for having a JMod because it's not as responsive as a JMod. The transmission tune is a lot more affordable in the long run and not as permanent as a JMod because you can always revert it back to its factory tune if you decide it's not for you. But at the end of the day, you're not going to do that because the insane amount of pros like outweigh the cons times 1,000,000%. The benefits of having a tuned transmission is just astronomically more awesomer and better than having a stock Crown Vic. So as the rain slowly pours over this beautiful specimen of a car right here, what I'm gonna do is, as I get some nice little beauty shots here, what I'm gonna do is, guys, I'm gonna get in the car, we're gonna set up the camera, and I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna do a little driving around, and I want you guys to see what it's like to actually drive around with a tuned transmission firsthand. Hopefully we can beat whatever's going on here and we'll actually have some light. Let's get in the Vic and do this. I love the sound of her purring. Here we go. Woo! All right, let's try this for like the 100th time. The thing about having a tuned transmission is that your car is always ready to go, as you guys are soon about to see. It really does wake up the low end torque and the instant, I'm talking about instant throttle response on your Crown Victoria. We're clear to go. Normally, the Crown Vic has a little bit of lag when taking off. You just hit the gas, I'm gone. Just like that. There's a church crazy person over there. Anyways, instant throttle response. Notice how it stays. Regular Vic would have shifted by now. Second gear, third gear to save some gas. No, it's still going. It's still hanging on there in case I gotta do this. There's the second gear. You saw how long that first gear is. First gear is incredibly long. That, oh, and it has some nice sweet downshifts. Normally on a regular Crown Vic, when it's downshifting, you would never even feel it. It just feels like almost like a CVT transmission, smooth, unless you're accelerating really, really hard. When you have a tuned transmission, you can feel that downshift. It feels like you're downshifting in a stick shift car. Right now, I'm not pushing the throttle. My foot is off the accelerator, ready to go. Instant power, just like that. Hangs onto that first gear so long. Second gear is a little bit longer than a stock Crown Vic. So is third gear. Where it usually clunks is going into fourth gear, and there's a very noticeable clunk. All right, so my GoPro decided to take a dump on me and just the battery died. There is a significant clunk when it shifts into fourth gear. Is there anybody behind me? No, so I can talk my ass off to you guys. There is a noticeable significant clunk when it shifts into fourth gear, but it's really not that crazy. It really will shock the whole car. It will just kind of rock your ass. Though that's really the only downside, is the horrible fuel economy you're gonna get, and just the clunkiness of the fourth gear shifting. Besides that, guys, I have no complaints. Now you guys are wondering, how the heck can you get yourself a transmission tune? Well, the only person I would trust with a transmission tune is, I'm going to put it somewhere here on the screen, is Marty and Mo's Speed Shop. Go check them out on Facebook. Look up, I'm going to leave the little thing right here somewhere, Mo's Speed Shop on Facebook. That is the only human being I would ever trust touching any of my Panther cars. The guy and his team down there know exactly what they're doing. But that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Stay tuned for my next video where I review what it's like to live with a Marty tuned Crown Victoria. You guys are really going to enjoy that. Either way, it's your boy, Mr. Random. Happy birthday, Harmony. I love you. Take it easy.